All right. Daryl, how you doing today?
Doing great, Bob. How you doing?
Good, doing good. So we're here in San Ramon working together this week, and Daryl Gregg is a retired, I found this out just a minute ago, retired fighter pilot. So I've known you were a fighter pilot, but I think I said ex-fighter pilot, which there's no such thing as an ex-fighter pilot, right?
No.
Yeah. Now, in the background, we keep having this weird noise, which sounds like the aliens from... War of the Worlds, that Tom Cruise movie? Yeah. So anyway, if all of a sudden I change the camera and you see me start running, right? So you'll know things just went south on us here. So we were talking earlier about fighter pilots and what makes a good fighter pilot. And you had some really good thoughts about that. So just give me kind of your thoughts on what makes a good fighter pilot, and then let's talk about what makes a successful mission. So.
Okay. And again, it's not an easy or a question that's easily answered.
Well, but I don't want to ask easy ones. You know that.
I know.
If it was easy, I'd be like, hey, what's the temperature today?
A good fighter pilot?
Yeah. What would you say is a good fighter pilot? How many years did you fly?
24 years.
24 years, and how many different? What were the different planes you flew?
I flew the F-18 in the Navy, and then the F-16 and the F-15 in the Air Force.
Nice.
Yeah,
there's that sound. Hear it? That's the aliens. Right there it is. All right, so I want to ask you, which was your favorite jet?
Probably the Hornet.
Oh, it was the Hornet, F-18. Nice. Okay, cool. So what makes what's the difference between a good and a great fighter pilot?
Wow. I guess part of it depends upon the audience.
Right.
But I would say what makes a good fighter pilot from a great fighter pilot is the willingness to learn.
Interesting.
And the ability to actually admit to one's mistakes. And then not only to admit, but then to learn from it and apply those lessons learned going forward. And even beyond that, to share those lessons learned with others. A good fighter pilot is someone who can go out, or probably someone good at any job, is someone who can go out and execute the task that was assigned to them, in a safe manner. I think what differentiates a good from a great, whether it be a fighter pilot or a worker in any organization, is the ability to not only go out and execute the task at hand, but then to be able to come back and self-reflect on not only what went well, but what could have gone better.
Right. So that sort of learn and improve. Yeah. So you're telling me that when you guys do your pre-flight sort of mission, that it doesn't always go as the mission?
No. Yeah, it never goes as briefed. It never, the mission never, it can go pretty close to as briefed in terms of how you things are going to go, but, things change. Human beings don't act in predictable manners most of the time. Environmental conditions change. Machinery can break or have malfunctions, which all these things lead into changes into your plan. And a good plan will hopefully account for some of these contingencies, but you can't account for everything. So.
Well, you can't have a plan that has every single thing that can possibly...
I know. We try. There are those who think we can, but you can't. And I think what can help differentiate those who are successful in those circumstances from those who maybe experience a failure, or those who are better able to adapt. And I think those who are better able to adapt are those who have a better understanding of the whys.
Yeah.
There's a difference between being lucky and being good. Some people just get lucky sometimes and they run the right outcome, but being good is being able to consistently adapt and to change in a dynamic environment.
I've been pretty lucky on a couple of my kayak runs. I know. I think in those cases I was more lucky than good. But I kayak with really good people. Does that count?
Only if you're willing to recognize your lessons learned.
Oh, okay. So nice.
And recognize why you were lucky and to make yourself good.
Okay, gotcha. So when you think about work success, how would you define success? Is it getting the task completed, or is it getting it completed without hurting people? What do you think is success?
Wow. Well, I think that's an interesting question.
I'm full of them.
And a philosophical question.
Right.
What is success? And again, it probably depends upon whom the audience is. I think a successful outcome, or if you were a task or an outcome, is one in which your objective was achieved, whether it's by doing something at work and doing the assigned task, coming back safely, but then also sitting down again, as I mentioned before, and taking the time to think about, reflect upon the lessons that can be learned, and then to acknowledge those to yourself and then to others, and apply those lessons learned moving forward. And I think that's successful. So, and it kind of goes into continuous improvement.
Yeah, so it's a pretty good plug for doing meaningful post-job reviews, right?
Absolutely.
Sitting down and actually being reflective and saying, hey, how did this go? Did it go like we thought it would? What surprised us? What all do we have to adapt to? And really kind of looking at that and then learning from that and improving.
Yeah, and oftentimes you may go out and do everything that you initially set out to do in the manner in which you thought you would. However, sometimes when you come back and you reflect, you can identify a better way of moving forward.
Yeah.
And again, that's part of that continuous learning process. And
cool.
It's having the ability to take the person out of it and put in more the process for making it professional.
Yep, cool.
And so it's not you did wrong, it's this didn't go as planned, and how can we, or how can it be done better the next time?
Nice. Well, good. All right. Well, thanks for taking a few minutes. Every week, I'm putting these things out just to kind of help people think about this stuff. And I thought it was a really good conversation to have around sort of what is success and how do you become great instead of just good, because you can't be a fighter pilot and just be, you can't be bad and be a fighter. I mean, you have to go through a whole lot to just be even good, but then there's also that whole next level of great. And we want great, but it doesn't come easy. It comes with a lot of work and a lot of practice and then learning from failure.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, thanks, Daryl, and thanks for the great weather out here this week, too. You ordered that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right up there with everything else I can order.
Yeah, nice.